Also, there's an election coming up soon.
Oh yeah,
This definitely makes him look
Well,
really
well-
strong. Give me the bottle of vodka. I drink all of it. It's good.
whilst our president was literally let off criminal charges because he was too mentally deficient.
Literally,
that was so funny.
That is the
That
funniest
was
shit.
so funny.
Sorry,
This man-
this was in a really black way, in a really dark way. It's quite hilarious.
This man
Like-
this man has stolen documents and kept them in his house. We should deal with this. Nah, dude. He's just too old.
Yeah.
Everybody watched it, right? Everybody watched the Putin interview.
Yes.
Everybody, you
I
watched it,
saw
Discount
the
Jamie?
first, 5 minutes of it. I couldn't get through the history of the Kievan Rus.
It was a
that
long
was
history
cool.
lesson.
That
You
was
know-
quite the history lesson.
I mean,
wasn't
being a
it?
history nerd, I enjoyed it because it
Yeah.
was coming from like the Russian Russian monarch, really, at this point. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But again, I even was sending you guys a text. Like, I don't think he did this, but it's almost as if Putin was watching the exact same YouTube video that I had just watched about the Russian history. Because he was saying, like, he literally was like almost identical to what I had listened to. Almost, I was like, did this motherfucker like just watch this video and then showed up?
No,
It was
it's
probably not. But
it's very interesting because I think what a lot of people mistake about Putin is they assume that he has no ideology of his own. He does. We in the West just either have ignored it or have just been or refused to learn about it. And he first of all not there seems to be this naive assumption that criminality and politics don't mix, as if gangsters themselves are entirely apolitical. And the reality is that authoritarians and totalitarianism is gangster politics. For example, whilst all of the Bolshevik revolutionaries were debating dialectic materialism in Viennese coffee houses, Joseph Stalin was robbing banks in Georgia. Okay? So Putin there is an ideology behind him, and it was very interesting to hear him talk in the sense that we're seeing his history from his and this grander Russian point of view. It may not be the history that we agree with or that we see. For instance, this huge overlooking of the years 1939 to 1941, and how Stalin and a certain mustached man in Germany were actually quite close.
but that's not the point of the history he's trying to. That's not the point of the history he's trying to say anyway.
Let me finish. But there is, and what I urge people to look at is there is a philosophy behind his way of thinking. So, for example, one person that I urge people to look into, and I know and it's quite a stretch to look into it, but is a certain philosopher called Ivan Ilyin. Okay, you wouldn't we don't really hear about him much in the West, but he does have his political philosophy is very popular in Russia, so much so that Putin even had his remains taken from Switzerland to Moscow, and asked the Congressional Library of Congress to have Ilyin's writings taken from Washington D.C. to to Russia, and everything that Putin was talking about in his history, his view of history of Russia, is basically comes from this guy called Ivan Ilyin.
Mhm. Well, I think just generally he's trying to give a dissertation. He was trying to just give a dissertation of an understanding, a long-winded
His
form of
view of
understanding
Russian history.
It's not just his view of Russian history. That's just what the Russian history is. And so he's trying to explain why what is happening now and creating the narrative around that this is just Russia. That's the whole point. It's not really Ukraine, it's Russia.
What
That's the whole point he's trying to make
Didn't he
by
say that
going through that whole thing.
that Ukraine was basically a concept of Lenin and the Soviet Union?
No, dude. No.
That's
it goes
basically what he said.
No, it's not. No.
What we see as Ukraine was basically
That's why
a
he
made
started
up
where he started with the beginning of the Rus
yes,
people and the Rus Empire.
yes, but what he was saying was that the Ukraine, as we see Ukraine now, was created politically by Vladimir Lenin and the Russian Revolution, whereas before that, the Ukrainians were basically Russians, like the way he sees the Finns and the way they see the Poles. But the borders that Ukraine has was a Soviet construct.
That was a buffer zone.
That's what he is. That's so in his worldview, Ukraine doesn't exist. It was just a false borders given to it by Vladimir Lenin.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good summation of his general point. Yeah, and I just found it interesting. The things that I just took away from it was I didn't think Tucker asked enough tough questions, which I was expecting him to do. And I didn't know.
I was a bit disappointed.
I didn't know
with
if that was agreed upon, and then because then Putin came out afterwards and was like, "Oh, he didn't ask me any." That was my worst Russian accent. He did not ask me any tough questions. I thought he would be like other American journalists, and he would interrupt constantly and try and bring tough questions. But I give him credit. He sat there and let me go on my long diatribes of history
Russian
and-
history.
and everything I wanted to say. In fact, I'm a little upset because I wanted to pound him into the dust and then turn him into potato vodka for me to drink like his blood. Let's go to Transylvania. It's like he didn't get to do any of that. He didn't get to become like Big Bad Putin, except the one time he brought up the question around the journalist. And then he took that dramatic like, let me this is an unsettling topic for me to discuss.
and this
Like,
is
buddy,
this is quite timely because I was especially disappointed that Tucker did not discuss Alexei Navalny. And
He didn't talk about Navalny. He didn't talk about a lot of things.
And given
And he asked repetitive questions at some points that also pissed me off.
yeah,
I was like,
and
which is a tactic sometimes if you ask a question enough different ways. Like it's a sales tactic also. Then hopefully the person will answer the question. But Putin is too smart to really fall for something so easy.
obvious.
I think Tucker also was kind of just like maybe taken in on the. I don't know if he'll ever admit this, but maybe being taken in on the moment a little bit. Like I'm in front of Putin, like nobody else has
In the
gotten this
Kremlin.
access in the Kremlin. Like it's a pretty cool. I wouldn't go there, but I mean, if you're, I could see where you're kind of like a little awestruck, a little bit.
Overwhelmed,
Yeah,
like entering the
potentially.
White House.
Potentially, yeah, but dude, even that, like, I feel like the Kremlin is harder for. Don't forget, he's an American journalist. Like, I feel like getting into the Kremlin is much harder than getting into the White House if you're an American journalist, right? Now, Putin also didn't answer a lot of things either that Tucker was trying to ask. I thought overall was an interesting conversation. I had to remind myself that Putin is a terrible dictatorial person who murders people. Because when you see somebody that composed who's able to do that, and then you look at our leaders, you're kind of like, well, one of these things isn't like the others. It's like I'd like a little bit more, but
Yeah, I honestly think that's a big reason why Putin did the interview. I think it was to show
The
like,
contrast.
the contrast. Like, hey, like I'm an intelligent figure. I can sit and talk about history and like go on and on and on about stuff, and your president can like drool on his mattress. Like,
yeah. Also, there's an election coming up soon.
oh yeah,
This definitely
Is there
makes
now?
him look
Well,
really
well-
strong. Give me the bottle of vodka. I drink all of it. It's good.
Whilst our president was literally let off criminal charges because he was too mentally deficient.
Literally,
That was so funny.
That is the
That
funniest
was
shit.
so funny.
Sorry,
This man-
this was in a really black way, in a really dark way. It's quite hilarious.
This man has stolen documents and kept them in his house. We should deal with this. Nah, dude. He's just too old. He doesn't even know what he's doing. And then Biden comes on the next day. I know what I'm.
And then forgets in mid sentence. Yeah, I know. It was
Just do
awful.
it.
The most common comment I was seeing about the Putin interview was like, I could not imagine Biden being able to do this.
Yeah,
No, he
yeah.
can't.
And
So
that was
many
the
people
whole
would.
point.
you know, it's
Yeah.
it's Okay, and so, actually,
which adds legitimacy to Putin and theoretically his cause because he's like, I can actually enunciate
Yeah.
and
I can form
It's an
provide,
actual
provide a thesis
ideology.
for why I'm doing what I'm doing, and also here's all the reasons why you guys are the perpetrators of this. And our guy just goes, hey, my butt's been wiped. Yeah, I had chocolate chip ice cream.
I'm sure you guys have heard this joke, but I'm going to
Dude,
say it
it's
again because I
elder
love the
abuse,
joke.
dude.
You
What?
know, Biden must be the happiest man in the world because every day when he wakes up, someone tells him he's the president of the United States.
Yeah,
Bro, have you seen the?
it's
Have you
sad
guys,
but true.
have you seen the spoof video of White House retirement thing? Have you seen this? It's set up as like an infomer. Can you find it? It's
I've seen it. Yes,
it's like an
I
infomercial.
think Trump tweeted it.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
he,
It's
or
like
something?
it's set up like
But
it's an
truth is,
infomercial.
What
They're
should I
trying to.
search this? What is this?
It's a White House retirement home or something. It's like a spoof video, where it's set up like it's an infomercial for trying to send
Huh.
your old grandpa or grandma to like the assisted living spaces. It's absolutely hysterical.
See what I find. I gotta admit the memes from it were pretty.
Yeah,
Alright, let's
this
watch
this is
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
bro. It's so good. It's
That
so
was
good, dude.
pretty good. That was
That
pretty
is
good.
absolutely sick.
That
I'm
was
eating all
objectively
the
funny.
Italian food. And chocolate chip ice cream. I'm like, dude, wow, hilarious. It's just such a contrast, right? Like, how are we stuck with this complete utter shit?
Because
It's a good question.
because he doesn't offend people like Donald Trump.
No, it's because he's super
That's-
easily
no,
manipulated. He has no real opinions of his
It's
own and is
not
willing
even-
to be
dude.
puppeteered around by the
Bro,
rest party.
manipulation is generous. Like, the dude's
Yeah, true.
practically dead.
If
Like,
he was truly,
people are just doing stuff around him, and he's
I
just sitting there.
I think
That's
a
what
lot. I think a lot of people. I think he.
Manipulation implies that he actually can still think. Okay, like
That's true.
it is. The jury is out that Biden is still functioning.
But even when he's able to think, there's still that old cunning politician. A lot of people think that people are in control of him, and if people were really in control of him, then he would have announced that he wasn't running for president.
Mm. Mm.
That's fair.
You know,
But see, but no,
yeah.
no. But I don't see because the handlers and the people behind him, right? And I have my theories on who these people are, but I will reserve them for another time. They still want Biden, and I don't 100% believe that Biden's even going to be the nominee. We got to get through the convention. I think some shit might go down, but I think they're grooming Newsom for potentially taking over. But
I've heard a lot of people say that. I don't know.
we'll see.
Have you
We'll
seen
see.
Have you seen Newsom's polling though against Trump? It's
We'll
been
see.
terrible.
We'll see. Let me just say, we'll see. But regardless, he was going to do that. His handlers want him in because they can just do what they want to do when he's in there. That's the whole point. It literally is like, again, Obama when he said on Colbert, "Oh, if I had a third term, I would totally
Is this
whatever."
where like he's in the jogging bottoms, a tracksuit in the basement?
Yeah,
and,
dude.
like-
Again, dude. Remember the video of when Obama came back to the White House and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
that was
dude,
that was really quite
everybody knows.
embarrassing. But
No,
like,
bro, because everybody knows he's still in charge, dude. He's still in charge, like running the show from behind closed doors.
so why
I'm
would he be
telling
running
you.
Biden?
He is running the party, bro. It's Obama. He's running the party still,
So
but
here's the
without the title.
What do you think? So I'm on. I don't know if you guys follow the betting odds
I
sites.
follow the betting markets.
So
Yeah,
what do you think the betting markets have as the likelihood for Michelle Obama announcing a presidential run before August?
okay. What are the odds? So what do I think the odds are?
What do you think they are?
Michelle Obama's the nominee.
No, that she's announces a run before August.
No,
Mm.
that shit will go down at the convention.
8%.
Okay, no,
Mm.
she's not. She's not going
Interesting.
to run through a. But that's the-
7% likelihood that she ends up being the nominee for the Democrats. 7% likelihood.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. If anything's gonna happen, it's gonna be
Li-
they're gonna pull some
li-
shit at the convention.
If she wants it, she has it. But she is the only person who could rescue the Democrats because I'm sorry, this is just reality. she would hands down beat Trump.
No.
Hands
Michelle
down.
Obama? No.
Yeah,
It'd definitely be a more
Mich-
interesting
Michelle
spectacle.
Obama would
Be fascinating.
I live in the real world. Michelle Obama would hands down beat Trump.
Really? Why do you think
Hands
so?
down.
Why?
Maybe.
Because of how she is liked in suburbia, and the Obama
Yeah, she would definitely
name-
win suburban
Yeah,
women for sure.
absolutely. And
For
the
sure.
Obama name, the Obama brand, is the best brand in politics right now. The
The only-
Obama,
but
the
dude, the
Obama
only
brand
thing-
displaced the Clinton.
The only
brand.
thing that would potentially go, I mean, I agree, but yeah, I would say like men in particular, and like like Latinos and some of this. I think you'd have to the optics of her like swooping in at the end and taking it. That does look bad.
Maybe, but
It's
it's
overcomable, but it looks bad.
But the other thing is the key to why Obama won in 2012, because people. If I was reading this the other day. The fascinating thing about 2012 is that Obama was the first president to lose support, but still win. How was he able to do that? He absolutely maximized. He absolutely maximized African American support in the cities where it counted, and they would show up for her. Absolutely.
100%. Well, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening, but this is all stuff that
But honestly, I think
that Putin wouldn't
think,
talk about.
I think he's going to run. I think
Yeah.
Biden will run.
Well, he's already running. Well, he won't actually be running because there's nothing that it'll be interesting if there's even debates. In all fairness, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know. I found the fact that he wouldn't answer certain things, and also that like he like Tucker. One interesting question Tucker asked was around well, who do you think is actually running? And like Putin totally knows, but he didn't want to say. Right? Like he just didn't want to say.